John Paul Young, Love is in the Air on BBC Radio Solent. Right, let's get fit, let's get at it. Paul Butler is with me in the studio now. He's sat down. Normally I'd be standing, of course, when Paul comes in. How are you doing?
Oh, good.
Oh,
great, yeah.
Yeah?
Thanks.
Happy to be
fantastic.
here? I've told everyone that you can fix anyone.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Yeah, you can fix anyone. It doesn't matter how ill you are, what body part doesn't work. You're still interested in engaging in that process and talking to people.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul's a miracle worker. The reason we get on so well is because we have very similar physiques, I would say.
Yeah, you'd like to think so.
We both shoot well in black and white.
Of course.
You can grate parmesan on our abs.
That's it, mate.
We've got it going on. I've asked people to message in with a body part they would like to work on.
Oh, okay.
Their age and anything that they think gets in the way. So it might be that they've got a damaged whatever. They're 55 and they'd like a smaller bum.
Okay.
Whatever it might be. And that will get us going.
Of course,
we've got texts and questions and bits coming in already.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is nothing that Paul can't sort, and there's nothing he's afraid of. All right, here we go. He's the master of fitness. Get ready, people, for your lives to change for the rest of your life. 81333, and the first word needs to be Solent. Sophie Ellis Bextor, I love that. Love is you on BBC Radio Solent. Paul Butler is our fitness instructor. Sophie Ellis Bextor, you a fan?
Yeah, fantastic.
You ever danced to Murder on the Dance Floor? Everyone has danced to
Old
that.
school, yeah, I like it.
It's an industry standard.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay, anything new happening in your life? Anything exciting, or just keeping fit?
Yeah, I've taken a job as gym manager, actually, at Pure Gym in Bitton, yeah. Well, I was working out of anyway, but
You're wearing, I know we can't keep mentioning the brand, but you are literally wearing a Pure Gym everything.
Yeah,
I mean, you're a walking advert.
I know. Turquoise as well.
Yeah. I mean, you've got no choice, I guess, if you're going to be the manager there.
Exactly.
Okay. I think it's always important to say that you live with cystic fibrosis.
I do.
You are a pill machine as well.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I've always taken over 35 tablets a day, I think. I do nebulised antibiotics as well. Yeah. So crazy. When I was born, they didn't know what was wrong with me. I think they gave me 2 weeks to live, and then a doctor, luckily enough, stood me up and said, I think he's got CF. So then they treated for my CF, and my parents were told that it was very unlikely that I'd live into my 20s and I'd never father children. I'm 38 and I've got a 10-year-old daughter, so...
Amazing.
Yeah, crazy.
When you're going to hit people with, if you're going to mention your illness, when they come in, they go, I just can't do this. I've got asthma or something. Do you think, I'm going to hold back on the cystic fibrosis story?
I do, yeah.
And then when they really wind you up, you go, listen, pal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this.
I mean, the thing is, we do consultations with people, and everyone's got their goals and aspirations and what they want to achieve, and it could be they just want to improve their life and their health, and they're the people that I like to help the most.
Yeah.
Because from my own personal experience, from somebody that couldn't, run 10 meters without having to stop, and then progressing and keep making myself getting fitter and healthier. From that point of view, I know I can help people. So it's like, you're right, you find out what somebody's generally got wrong with them or what they want to work on, and then you can sort of steer it in their direction, be specific for that person and his goals or her goals.
Yeah, get the goals going. Okay, so your question's welcome. 81333, and the first word is Solent on the text. You can always call 0808 100 3800. And for a bit of sort of direction, I've taken age from people, body part they'd like to improve, and anything physically that might get in the way. So there's a lovely question here with someone who's got some problem with their knees as well. They're only 56 years old. So we'll do that in a moment. Yeah. Let's turn to the phones. We never have any idea here what's going to happen. Patricia is in Christchurch. Patricia, good afternoon to you.
Oh, good afternoon, Alan. Good afternoon, Paul.
Hello.
Hi. Now we can get people fit. Is that how we can help you, Patricia? What's your question?
Well, my question is, I've always been slim, and I would love to put weight on.
Okay.
I'm 74 years old. I'm not worried about my age. It's just a number. Mm-hmm. I have had a few medical problems, and I'm not probably as quick as I used to be, but I would still like to put on weight.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't got a huge, great, big appetite. I'm really eat like a child. I really haven't got a big appetite. I mean...
Do you do any exercise, Patricia? Apart from walking, do you have any exercise regime?
No.
Okay. Okay, right. Okay, let's give it to Paul. Let's see what he says. Here we go. Someone who's too thin. You don't get that very often. I'm too thin.
You do.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, you do. And it basically comes down to eating. Like you said, you've got like a small appetite, but it might be focusing on foods that carry higher fat. because there's 9 calories per gram of fat, whereas carbs and protein, get into that, that's 4 calories. So it might be a case of maybe upping your calorie content. So you need to be on a surplus of calories that your body needs energy wise. So for yourself, if you're say you're not going to be that active, so if you're only burning like say 1,500 calories, you need to have 2,000 calories a day to be in a surplus of calories for you to gain weight. That's how we work as personal trainers. You either be in a deficit to lose weight or a surplus of calories. And an easy way to gain calories is generally for a high fat diet, I would suggest.
Is it not dangerous though that Patricia will just start throwing in muffins and donuts, and then she'll just think, I feel awful.
You're right. You want to eat the right type of fats. So we'd always suggest nuts are really good because they're really, really high in calories. Avocados, eggs are pretty good as well. Oily fish is always a good one, and then red meat is pretty good if you do eat meat. Those type of options are always beneficial.
Let's find out. Here we go. Patricia, nuts, avocado, fish, and eggs. Okay, that's your hit group.
The only thing I couldn't eat out of that is the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a shame, isn't it?
Get the avocados because they're really high in calories, which is really beneficial.
I like avocado.
There you go.
I think, Patricia, it sounds to me like a little bit of squirreling away with some good food groups that are not, donuts and muffins, but are the avocados, that are the fish.
The donuts and the muffins.
Yeah, but essentially that's going to probably make you feel tired as well, isn't it? So I'm thinking if you choose the right food groups and have the avocado salads and the fish.
With the fat, you've got to be careful with your cholesterol as well, especially being a little bit older. So, is a focus in just trying to get more calories into you for the amount of energy that you utilise, because you're not active and because you don't eat as much as what you generally should do. That's why you're quite a slight size, quite a small size. And to gain weight, you would need to just eat more. That's what it comes down to.
Patricia, we'll leave that with you, if that's all right. Okay, good luck with your avocados. We're here for you if you need us. That's Patricia there in Christchurch. Thank you for calling. 0808 100 3800 81333, and the first word is Solent on the text. Coming up in just a moment, I'm 49 and would do anything to improve my chin and face. Other than that, I'm really quite thin. Female. Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
All right, have a little think. Hang on. Here we go. Leo Sayer and Mech. Thunder in My Heart. It's our expert fitness session with Paul Butler, personal fitness instructor. He has the answer to your body shape. Yes, he does. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent. Is there a part of you would like to get fit? If there is, we can help you. Right, are you ready for this? Here we go. Our guest is Paul Butler. He is from Pure Gym in Bidden, and he looks after it there. You can pop in and go and see him. You won't miss him. He looks like he's wearing, what do we call that, indigo?
Well, I don't know, aquamarine maybe?
Okay, aquamarine.
Do you think? What do you mean?
It's bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be missed, are you?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we go. Here's Jan on the text. I'm 56 years old. I have arthritis under my kneecaps. I can't do squats, which makes it worse, so my thighs are a bit weak. I would love to do some strengthening without possibly doing the knee bends. Advice sought. Can you help? Says Jan.
Yeah, there are things you can do. You can buy sort of like resistance bands, and you can do what we call like clams, which is when you sort of bring your legs apart with resistance in between. So you put them on your knee. You can also do lots of glute raises because that takes any sort of emphasis away from your knees.
Well, I don't understand what you're saying.
Exactly. So what I would suggest for her to do is to come to the gym.
Yeah, of course you're going to say that.
Come and see me at Pure Gym.
Do you lie on your back for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the resistance would be to avoid them putting weight on her knees.
Absolutely.
Take me through this resistance
band.
So
no flexion of the knee. So you would put the resistance band just above your knee.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can lay on your side, and then you just bring your legs like a clam. You bring your legs out like that, and that can work your thighs really well like that. Or a glute raise would be when you tuck your feet you lay on your back, you tuck your feet in towards your bum, and then you lift your hips up, and then squeeze your bum as much as you can.
And that would take the pressure off the knees.
Absolutely.
But would give her the thigh work.
Yeah, because it would work your legs as best it can, obviously taking it away from your arthritic knees.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about people with arthritis, because it affects all ages.
Yeah, it does.
When someone comes in and they've got some arthritis, maybe elbow, knee, key elements.
Yeah.
Are you looking to, the client comes in there nervous.
Yep.
Are you looking to say to them, actually, you might have arthritis there, but if you withdraw totally from using your knee, it's only going to get worse? Or do you push it a bit? Or how do you find that balance?
Do you know what? Resistance to training can be really, really beneficial for people with arthritis. I've had lots of clients in the past, some young and some old, believe it or not. I've had an 18-year-old girl with it really badly, actually. And resistance, so a lot of things, it doesn't have to be heavy, but if you do certain movements, it can improve the sort of mobility that you can have through arthritis.
Okay.
But you would sort of steer away from doing any sort of impact work. So you wouldn't do any sort of running or anything silly like that. For cardiovascular work, endurance, you would do like cross training and things like that.
Okay.
But resistance training can be good.
So if you've got arthritic knees, so we're here with Jan. She's in her 50s and has arthritis in her knees. She wants to get her legs up to speed. Start with resistance and bands. And then if she was to choose a piece of kit, would you think, well, because she's going to have to move her knees, is it better for her to go swimming or rowing machine and get all weight off? Or eventually, is it good for her knees to take a bit of a
swimming's
punishment?
a good all-rounder, isn't it? And it doesn't put too much stress on the knees. So you've got to basically look at it that she does get a form of progression. So she is making some progress in certain areas and making it a little bit harder. But also you want to sort of, if you feel any sort of initial pain, especially with arthritis, you want to stop it straight away.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, well, and this is one of my favourite questions already. I'm 49, would do anything to improve my chin or face. After that, I'm really quite thin and quite happy, female. Oh, and I liked it because it's a bit odd.
Yeah.
So someone who's got a bit of a double chin or, feels like their face is a bit fat but their body's a bit thin. And they're not going to come to the gym for that.
No, they're not.
But is that all round, they've just got too many calories, so burn them off?
Yeah, but she says she's quite good everywhere else. So unfortunately, genetically, it's one of them things that she's predisposed to just having a bigger...
No, we've told everyone you can fix anything.
I can, right? But I would say that she would just need to be on a bit of a calorie deficit to lose fat overall. To lose body weight overall, like you said. You're right there to some extent. There are these little niches where they're trying to get you to buy things that... get rid of your double chin.
You hold it in your mouth. It's like a spoon thing.
Don't do it.
No, waste of money.
Waste of money, absolutely.
So essentially, your take is if you've got some extra fat, you need to eat less fat or burn it off.
And also, you could work. I would look at doing exercises that work your whole body, more resistance training, like compound movements and things like that, because that works your whole body, and that should take it away from that area. Okay.
Another quick question. Let's have a little look here. Last time you were on the show, Paul, you talked about vibration plates, and I can't remember whether you like them or not.
A lot of PTs or a lot of trainers don't particularly like them. I like them for different reasons. I do a course called Ladies that Lift, and I put them on there the other day. It was pretty good. It's a good session. As long as you basically, it circulates the blood in and around the muscle, and it can make it a lot harder than what you're doing. So if you do, say for example, 10 squats on them, it can make it a little bit harder.
So you like them as long as you're doing something on them.
Absolutely. Don't just stand on
it. In the advert, they just stand on it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Will you lose any weight doing that? You lose nothing.
You just get a headache.
So if you just stand on a vibration plate, you just get a headache.
Well, my nose itches. I can't handle it.
So what you would do with your clients is go, if you want to use that vibration plate, fine, but you've got to do something on it.
For example, we did press-ups on it, we did squats on it, we did Russian twists, planks, all these type of movements that work different muscles. You can do isometrics, which is staying still, like you said, but you would have to do it in, say, like you could do a squat hold, and that would work your legs as best it can. You could do lots of core exercises and hold a position, but you can't just stand on it. It's pretty pointless.
Okay, so in answer to your question, do you like them?
Yeah, I like them.
A lot?
Not a lot.
No. Here's a bit of ELO now, confusion. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent. If you've got a vibration plate, don't worry, just do more on it. Spin on it. Paul Butler is an expert fitness instructor. He also has lived with cystic fibrosis. He takes no excuses from anyone. He's a very nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't tolerate excuses. Okay, here we go. I'm 50, thin legs, fat stomach, bad back, male. Now, you once said to me that everyone had a six-pack under their fat. Lots of men. Let's look at this. This has got to be lots of men where there's skinny legs. I feel like I fit into this category. Yeah. All the weight goes onto the stomach.
Yeah.
Please now tell us all men, my people, how to get rid of the dad gut. in an easy way?
Well,
in straightforward steps.
Okay, you definitely the biggest steps I took, because you're writing it down as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
The biggest steps I took was to obviously run. So you want to sort of be on a calorie deficit and lose weight, right? Okay, because you're going to lose that from that area. Because men, unfortunately, carry weight on their stomach.
No one ever counts calories unless you're on some weight program.
All right, eat less then.
You think eat less? Just 3 meals, no snacking.
Yeah, up your protein, just so you're repairing and recovering your muscle.
Okay, yeah.
All right. And then add compound movements to that. So that's exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench press, all these type of exercises where you use a lot of muscles to do a couple of movements, functional movements.
What about the sit-ups?
Nah, they're overrated.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really do them.
You don't do sit-ups?
No, I do quite a lot of oblique work. So like all the, you're like what you would call love handles. I do quite a lot of oblique work.
What do you mean oblique work?
So that's all the side parts. So that would be like Russian twists and that type of movements,
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
A Russian twist, is that just I just twist I'm in a squat position?
Yeah, you sit on your bum.
Yeah.
And you keep your legs off the ground, and then you basically twist your body from left to right.
Okay.
Easy as that.
Give me your 3. I'm imagining there's a bloke listening to this, right? And he's not going to buy any gym kit. He feels a bit too embarrassed to go to the gym. He's going to cut down on his food intake.
Yeah.
And he wants 3 good exercises to do in the front room on his own before his entire family get up and take the mick.
Okay.
This might be a friend of mine. What would you do? The 3 top ones?
Burpees.
Okay, that's the little squatty ones when you're pulling up together. Is that right?
No, he's going to have to look that up.
So is that the sit-up? No, the squat thrusts they used to do on Champions.
So you go down into a press-up position.
Yeah.
You hop your legs into your sort of where your chest is, and then you jump up.
All right, burpees. I know what they are.
So very anaerobic, very good for fat burning.
How many?
As many as you can do, pretty much. Try it out.
All right.
It's pretty tough. You could do lots of different things in terms of how many you do. You could do Tabata, which is seconds and times, or you could just do 10 one day and then 11 another day, or 12 another day.
Okay, but it's not like if you can do them fast, it's more efficient for your body than taking ages.
Just get through them initially, just try it, because it might be harder than you think.
Yeah, okay,
exactly
right, burpees, yeah.
Squats, especially if you've got tiny legs.
Squat thrusts.
Just squats. So stand up, squat down. Obviously, keep your back straight, especially because he's got a bad back.
Yeah.
So, keep your back straight. Keep your head up.
Okay, burpee squats.
And then you can, there's lots of like core exercises that can work, like planks and things like that, which we talked about before.
Yeah, we've done plank. So maybe a plank for a while.
Yeah.
And if I did that with the person who's 50, who's a bit older than me, would I get a 6-pack?
Do you know what? If you kept doing it, your body would probably get used to it, and you need to go to a gym sooner or later anyway. It depends where you're at, and you might not be far off a 6-pack. You might not be. Everyone's different with their goals and aspirations. I'd have to monitor it, and that's where consultations come in.
All right. If you've got a 6-pack, then do you self-tan?
No.
You never self-tan?
Never.
If I had a 6-pack, I'd self-tan
Actually,
all the time.
that's a lie. I do, because if I do comps, like weightlifting or bodybuilding competitions, then you have to, because it looks better. Yeah.
It's no shame. There's no shame.
I don't care. I'm just going to say it. Yeah.
You've come out now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're out the self-tanning closet, and there's no shame in that.
Yeah,
it's on the iPlayer for 30 days if your friends are listening. Right, okay, here we go. I can't stand my saggy underarms. I am female. I am 72. Help me.
She may have always had that sort of problem, maybe, but obviously bicep curls and tricep extensions. A lot of people worry
with cans of beans.
Yeah, well, women worry a lot about what they call bingo wings. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that's what sort of.
Yeah, that's what she means. Yeah.
So you'd have to look at doing sort of kickbacks. If she's at home and she doesn't want to go to a gym, then she could do dips, and that she could do on a table or a chair, so to speak. That will work the back of her arms. But I would always suggest that she works more muscles for her to work not just one specific area. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's where squats, press ups, and also a press up, for example, actually helps.
In your 70s, would you press ups
on
in
her
70s?
knees? She could probably do that. Yeah. Or if she puts her hands on something that's elevated, it makes it a little bit easier for
her. Lungs, COPD 75. Now this is something you must be a specialist in. This is people who are struggling to breathe. COPD. Yeah. What do you think when someone comes in and goes, "I'm old, I've got COPD"? What would you prescribe?
Well, for my own personal sort of experience, my lung capacity was really low at one point. wanted to have a child, and it was me turning over a new leaf. And for me to improve my lung capacity, I felt it was the right thing to run. So I just started helping in my endurance and my stamina, which is obviously oxygenated blood, and helping my lung capacity through running. That's what I initially did. And then basically I lost too much weight doing that. I started coughing up blood, which was not a good thing for me at that point.
No.
And then I read everything I needed to read about getting fit and healthy, and I went into a gym and never looked back. So it was the best decision I ever made. But I couldn't run 10 metres because of my lungs. It wasn't because of my legs. It wasn't because of anything else. It was because of my aerobic energy.
So if someone messages the show and they've got COPD, which is a significant condition,
absolutely.
That's the bottom line is you can do some stuff on your own. But if you've got the money and you can squeeze a bit of cash out, the investment of going to see someone and going, I've got the membership. It's going to be life changing, even at 75.
Absolutely, I never look back. You know, it's changed my life dramatically. I was at school. I was never at PE or games because of my lungs. But now I'm arguably pound for pound the strongest person in my gym. You know, it's pretty good.
Okay, we're going to run out of time in a minute. Female, my thighs are too thunderous. Always have been, and I'm sure I'm cursed.
No, she's not.
Squats.
Yeah.
The answer to everything is simple. Is simple squats and
lunge, squat. If she wants to work her legs, then work them. You know, there's no excuses.
You don't think genetically you're destined to always have shot put
you know,
thighs?
I'll tell you what, if she's that worried, you know, she could buy a bike, use her legs that way. It's a good way of spot reducing fat maybe, but I don't think you'd benefit greatly from it. But if it's legs that she's worried about, work them. You know, that's one of them things.
Yeah, you got a problem, you got to work it.
Yeah,
that's like the kids from Fame.
Absolutely.
We've known this since the 80s.
Yeah.
Last one then. I was doing Couch to 5K, part of the NHS scheme, but now my back always hurts after a run. Female.
Yeah, because of impact, it can hurt the knees and the lower back really quite a lot. So Couch to 5K is quite it was brilliant for obviously getting people active. That's the biggest thing, is what we always try to thrive to do, get people in the gym, get them active. But I would suggest like a cross trainer or something like that, swim, and give herself a different goal to work towards. So there's a squat challenge. There's so many different challenges out there, but it might be a case of she needs to add. The good thing about that Couch to 5K is there's a form of progression, making it harder each day.
Yeah.
So it might be a case of looking at something and then swim a little bit further, or go a little bit further, or get yourself a PT, because they're beneficial. Take
the impact off. Paul Butler, personal fitness instructor. Paul, your mission, just as we finish, is don't be afraid of the gym, isn't it? You've told me that you've had to go out of the gym and collect because they've been too scared to come into the gym.
Yeah. So obviously I work out of Pure Gym in Bitton, and there was a woman that was very overweight, you know, for how she should be basically, and she couldn't, you know, she's just too nervous, and I think once you actually bite the bullet, come in, I think you realise that everyone's in their own little world. Nobody worries about what you're doing, especially if you're with a trainer. You know you're in safe hands, sort of thing. I think a lot of people suffer anxiety, so you know, it's low self-esteem obviously, and it's biting the bullet and actually making that decision. And I'll tell you what, you can turn your life around like it did for me. And you know, the hospital is so happy with me. My life now, it's unbelievable. You know, completely turn of events.
Can be done.
Absolutely.
Paul, it's been lovely to have you in the studio. Thank you so much. Me and my friend are gonna start work on those. The next time you see me, I'll be like, imagine the Hulk, but very, very thin and very, very pale, and that's what I'm going for. That body shape.
Yeah,
thank you for your time as always. And if you want to catch up with Paul, you can find him in Bitton Pure Gym. Other gyms, of course, are available, but he'll be there, happy to help, happy to give you advice, and maybe you can turn whatever it is in your life around. And evidence suggests, we all know this, exercise, fitness has a massive impact on your thinking, your psychology. So if we've inspired you a little bit, I do hope so. Here's a bit of Paul Simon now, late in the evening. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent. Alun Newman with you till 1, then the mighty Alex Dyke.